Hey there, folks. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to another puzzle stream. We're going to be playing Murder by Numbers, which is the Phoenix Wright puzzle combo game. Always good times, and it has a cute robot in it, so again, on theme. Let's check in with the kitties, though. Sammy is not visible because she's soaking up the love on my lap right now. Just quite demanding, and thus she gets the attention that she wants. Up in the top left there, we have Sky. Top center, we have Ember. And then in the left side, we have Rorschach. Rorschach is taken to that pillow. It's getting nice and cozy there. We have seen more traffic over on the chair, which used to be one of the places I had a camera. Maybe that'll be another spot in the future. I am planning on getting some ceiling tracks so that I can move the cameras around a little bit more freely. If I get that, then periodically I can rotate cameras around. Give us some more lines of sight. Sammy is a very particular kitty as far as the pettings go. She's not quite a strafing cat, the kind that will walk by, let you stroke their back, or let you itch them in passing, and then orbit back around for another go, which is convenient because that can be really difficult to deal with, especially if they're the extra picky kind, because those tend to be the types that have the short fuse. The yes, I like this petting. I like this petting. No, I hate this petting. Time for you to bleed. But yeah, here let's give Ember that screen time here, and we're gonna start the shift over. Hello, says I realize you want to push buttons, but we're not having that. We go back over here. Okay. Be a little bit lower. There we go. There we go. Now again, for those of you not familiar with Murder by Numbers, this is a detective game. You have to solve mysteries, look for evidence, question people. When you're looking around for clues and evidence, you do so using the little robot companion there. And when they find something, you have to complete a Picross style puzzle. Yes, hello there, Sammy. Please don't press buttons. You have to solve Picross style puzzles to unlock something. We left off at the end of an awards ceremony where a person was murdered. They got up on stage and acted really kind of drunk and strange. Then they were found in their dressing room having nominally been strangled. I can't recall if it was just alcohol or a poison in the alcohol that also seemed involved. And then someone set the place on fire, and despite what it looks like, the entire backstage area was burned out, and there were flames all the way up to the ceiling. But we found a standard commercial fire extinguisher, so we were fine. Let's see here. So we can talk to folks. Most of the names are puns, keeping with the Phoenix Wright tradition. I think this is Becky and Call or something like that. So Beck and Call. The main character's first name is Honor. Their last name didn't seem to line up, but it might be in an alternate language, in another language or something like that. Honor. That was quite something, huh? It was a close one, that's for sure. I I wanted to say thanks. You know, for the helping you get out of the inferno alive thing. You know. What? If it wasn't for you and Scout, we would still be stuck in that bathroom. No, you wouldn't. You would have been, burned to death. It's a very different situation than stuck in a bathroom. I know I'm not always easy to work with, but you helped me anyway, with the pep talk and the escape. Becky came to this award ceremony hoping to win something equivalent to Best Actor, and she very much did not, and she flipped out. On stage. You're welcome, Becky. I'm happy to be of some assistance. Scout the robot looks like a glued-together agglomeration of kind of 80s, 90s, 70s through 90s tech. Everything from radios to cassette players to look like camera lenses on his back. And don't mention it. Besides, if it wasn't for your firefighting heroics, we would have been burned to a crisp. When I'm head of the Starshine Committee, I'll remember what you did today. Starshine Committee is the equivalent of the group behind like Oscars or Grammys or something like that. The voting body. And they were shocked, just shocked to discover that the voting body behind the Starshine Awards was corrupt and taking bribes. Shocked, I say. Really appreciate that, Becky, but I don't need an award. Who said anything about an award? I just said I'd remember. There's Becky. Jeez, talk about self-centered. I think we should be thanking you for getting us out of the building. Where did you learn to use a fire extinguisher like that? On the instructions, on the side of the fire extinguisher. They're not complicated. Pulling the pin is like the hard part. I played a firefighter in a school play one year. Got really into the role. I wore the costume for like 2 months. Of course, back then the fire was just made of tissue paper. Holy crap, I could have died today. Why did you let me do that? Reality sinks in briefly. Still can't believe the Starshine Awards were such a scam. I was so happy when we won Best New Show in '93. Who knows when the committee started accepting bribes? I think we won fair and square that year. As soon as... Wow, there was a lot of flashing on screen there. Unnecessary flashing. But why? As soon as I get elected, I'm clearing house. All new rules and regulations. Sweeping reforms. Hollywood won't know what hit it. I'm guessing that the flashes were supposed to go with those capitalized words, but who knows? I'm glad you found your calling. It's like I told you. You don't need an award to be happy. Of course I don't need an award. I'm going to be in charge of giving them out. That's way better. Well, at least her ambitions have changed. Just think of all the press conferences, the publicity. We need to talk to you about Bobby again. I already told you everything. He wanted me to go on his show, and he gave me that makeup. Ah, that's right, the makeup had poison in it. Or some sort of toxin. You think I'm lying or something? Not at all, we're just trying to uncover more details. Can you remember anything else? Something he said? Any other gifts? There was this other thing that came with the makeup. I didn't think it was important, but you can take a look if you want. Puzzle! So this is just like the ones that we were working with on Thursday. Same general gimmick. This is a certainty. It's not. Could be part of a 2, so there could be a 1 there. But you have to be part of a 5. This has to be part of a 4, but that could go anywhere like that. Same way this has to be part of a 4. Which means these can't be filled in because the 5 can't fit. This has to be part of a 2 because if it's a... well, no. That has to be part of a 4, but that doesn't help us any. It's like this is part of a 4. This is part of a 6. That. Part of a 2, but that doesn't help. This is part of a 3. And since that would make it a 4, it has to be like that. Which makes you part of another 3. There could be 1. This has got to be a 1. Buttons are slightly different than Picross Touch. That and that. 2. Do you like the music in this one? I like a lot of different kinds of music. It doesn't really say a lot, you know? This has got to be part of a 2, but again, that doesn't help. You're part of a 9. It could go as far as this. It can go as far as this. So let's temporarily... that. Yeah. This could be part of the 2, so we don't know. Same with this. This could be part of a 2. That's part of a 1. Five has to live in here. Can only be the 5 living in there. Which means the 3 and the 2 have to live here, which puts them like that. These are both parts of 2s. So there can't be anything here or here. 9 has to live like that, which makes you part of a 2. Which doesn't help us. This is a complex one. Or the 3 and the 1 can live all the way down here. But there couldn't be anything there. So part of a 2. That. If you're bigger than that, 1 has to be there. One, 1, 2, 4. Has to be like that. This should have been a certainty. Yeah, this was a certainty. It has to look like that. This has to be a 2. You have to be a 4. Makes you a 2. Eight and 9. Makes you a 2. You a 2. You're a 3. Making headway. We're making headway. Make sure the chat is broken. Just double check our chat settings. Push some buttons. That could be fun there, Jorah. This has to be the 4. That. Makes you part of the 3. That. Makes you part of a 3. That. You're definitely a 1. Which makes you a 3. Could be a 2 in here. 5 and 6. This has to start with a 4. It has to be like that, which makes you a 2, which makes you a 5. Nothing there. Makes you a 4. You a 4. Makes you a 2. Like that. It's a 5. That's a 3 and a 2. 2, then a 9. That makes you a 1. Here a 2. 2 and a 2. It's very lumpy so far, isn't it, Jorah? Additionally, hey there, Jorah. How are you doing today? Two. It's definitely got to be the 2. Your own brain's gaslighting you, huh? I'm still not seeing what it is. On the plus side, this one gives us like a color image of it after we're done. A fan? Like a hand fan? Okay. That was tricky. No tips. No tips ever. If your score gets high enough, you unlock extra puzzles. This fan has text printed on it. Thank you for shopping at La Manchot Jolie. I mean, I would be more impressed about brass knuckles bought from a place with that kind of name. That must be where the makeup was purchased. And they can tell us if they sold it to Bobby. Let me give them a call. The battery's dead. Don't suppose you have a power socket? Actually, I do, but it's only designed for very low power devices. Charging a cell phone will take some time. Given the size of that cell phone, it would definitely take some time. But I mean, if you're going to have brass knuckles, can't you imagine having flower print brass knuckles? That makes a statement to the face. It's better than nothing. Here. KC, I haven't seen you all night. Figured you left. Just because you don't see me doesn't mean I'm not here. I've been stuck with your mother all evening. Casey and her mother don't get along. Honestly, how am I supposed to find Mr. Right if I've got that hanging around me? Can I borrow your cell? There's this boutique. Les Manchot Jolie, I guess? I mean, looks French. I need something from their sales records, which I can pull because I'm a random person that's going to call them. Oh, I know that place. I went on a terrible couple of dates with their perfumes guy. Great guy, but he insisted on cooking every time we met up. You broke up with him because he cooked for you? All those perfumes had screwed up his sense of smell. Honestly, it was like Pizza Hut had tried to make bolognese. I'd still kind of want to find that. But I let him down gently, of course. I'm sure he'd do me a favor if I asked nicely. I need to know who bought this makeup. Rouge number 16 by Corinthia Cosmetics. Ooh, Corinthia? Very swish. I'll see what I can do. Pizza Hut definitely makes pasta bowls. Or at least they did like 10 years ago. It looks like their cell phones are Nokia era. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm not sure, Jora. I expect it's at least saying it's fancy to some extent. Is that Marshall? It's me, KC. How are you? Supervisor, look at you. Me? Oh, you know, this and that. Oh, you saw the that's still one thing I don't like, is that when a character interrupts another, the prior text is still fully written out, but you don't get to see it. I would rather they just truncate the text and not give me the opportunity to read it in a split second. Listen, could you do me a big favor? I'm trying to track down one of your customers. I know you don't normally give out that kind of information, babe, but can't you make an exception for me? Another date? I don't know if that's such a good idea. Do you still cook? Subtle. Subtle. No, you don't have time anymore? That's great. Very subtle. I mean, that's understandable given your new responsibilities. How about we meet up this Friday? Now, about that info. Did you sell any Corinthia Rouge number 16 recently? Oh, really? A special order. Very interesting. Do you have any contact details? Yes, a phone number would be... Yeah, we just keep that around. Here, have it. Okay, got it. Do you have their credit card number, too? Thank you so much, Marshall. See you Friday. Around this time, it wouldn't be unlikely that their credit cards... The credit card numbers would have been taken by imprint. Anybody remember that? When they used to have a... like a pressure ink thing that they'd put the card down on, and they'd run like a little press over it to imprint the credit card number on a slip. You know, maximum security. They did look kind of fun though, didn't they? So, did you get a name? Yep, only one person bought that makeup recently. Alex Costa. That name again? Who's Alex Costa? We think it might be Bobby Price using a fake name. Can you call the number they gave you? All right, but I'm sending you my phone bill this month. Hi, could I speak to Alex Costa? That's weird. What happened? Was it Bobby? I don't know. They hung up on me. People don't normally do that. Well, we can go to the women's restroom again, where we were trapped in a fire. I doubt Bobby would have come in here. Making sure we've got Kitty. Oh, hey, Sammy has shown herself. It's Casey's phone bill would be the kind of thing that, given that phone list, it would be terms like a list of clientele would spring to mind. That makes it a perfect place to hide evidence. Scan for puzzles. I mean evidence. This one is, though. Yeah. This was back in the time when a phone like that, being a burner phone, would be questionable. You would have done shady stuff with a pager, Jorah. Good luck with the dinner. White. This one is. Looking for what I call certainties in these lists, where there's only one configuration that works given the size of it. that. This makes this the last one, which makes it a 2. 7 can't live there. 7 could be here or here, so it's like that. So you a 3. You a 3. You're 1 into 2. You're part of a 4. Is this the 3, which makes this the 2. You're part of a 6. It's you a 2 and you are a 5. 2, there could be a 1 there. You're a 2. You're both parts of 2s. This is a 4, which makes you the 7. Makes you a 1. And that. 2 and 2. A 2. 7 and a 6. So a 2 and a 2. You're a 3. No, wait, you're a 4. That. So a 1 and 2. Could be part of the 3, or it could be the 1. Check on the kitties now and again. Make sure they're visible. This can't be the 3. This is the only spot that the 3 could live. That. Which means 1, 1, and a 1. This has to be a 2, that has to be a 1, that has to be a 3. Since you're a 1 and you're a 3, makes you the 1. Makes you a 2. 2 can't be there. You're a 1 and a 3, makes you part of the 2. Part of a 3. You have to be a 1. You're part of an 8. So you have to be all the way over there. It's a 2. 2. 4. To 2. So you a 3. 1, a 1, and a 1. This is the only place that can fit a 3. Makes you the 3. A 1 and a 1. That. That. And that. It's 1, 2, 3. 1 and a 2. There's no 3 in here, which makes you the 1 and you the 2. Makes you the 2 and you're another 1. That's the case, then you're the 3 and you're the 2. Makes you the 2. Since there's nothing else here, makes you the 1. There has to be a 3 here, so it's like that. Maybe it's like a bouquet. Must be a 1 here, which makes you the 3 and you the 2. Place a 1 can fit, which means nothing goes there, which makes you the 4, and you're the 3. Nothing's there, and you're a 1. Is it a bouquet? Yeah. Yeah. Well, dying flowers. Well, that's what would happen to a bouquet if I got a hold of it. These are the flowers Dick got with his award. Yep. But they're all wilted. Honor, don't get too close. I'm detecting neurotoxin powder inside the bouquet. Okay, so it was in the makeup, and it's in the bouquet. On the flowers? Dick got these on stage. I saw him smell them. That's how he was poisoned. They must have been poisoned in advance. But how did Bobby gain access to the flowers before the ceremony? Maybe he didn't. If we can investigate, there are more puzzles to be found. If there aren't any more puzzles, then you can't investigate. Okay, this one's a certainty. There. This one is, though. Okay. It's to be part of the 4, which can be as far down as this. So like that. It has to be part of the 3, but that doesn't help us. You're part of the 5, which can go down to there, so that doesn't help us. You are definitely a 2. You're a 3, so there can't be anything here. You're a... That could be a 1. It's like that's got to be a 1. There could be a 2 here. It's definitely a 2. You're part of a 4. Gotta trim stuff down. Wait. Eight. So 8 can... The possible positions of the 8 overlap there. You have to be a 1. Like you have to be a 2, so there can't be something here. Same with this. Or definitely can't be in this mess. Can't determine exactly where it is. This is the minimum space necessary for the ones. So it'd be like that. Makes you a 3. You've got to be part of the 4, but that doesn't help. You're part of the 4, which doesn't help. Or can't fit down here, so there's a 2, and that makes you the 4. This does help, because that makes you part of the 4. That makes you the 2. That makes you a 1. Makes you definitely a 1. Makes you a 3. Can't be there. That. It has to end with a 2 and a 1. Right? The 2 has to be there. It's you the 3 and you the 1. It's you part of the 5, which doesn't help, but you're the 2, which makes you a 1. 2 and another 2. Oh, you messed something up. It's often, at least for me, easier to reset the puzzle than it is to, what would it be, try to figure out exactly where I messed up. For a 2, there wouldn't be room for the 1s, so this is a 1. And this can't be the 3. Like, the 3 can't live down here, so that's definitely the 3. 4 can't live down here. This is part of the 4. Which can only go that far down, so that's part of that. Which makes you part of the 5. This has to be a 3, but doesn't change anything. Just like this has to be a 5, so that can't be filled in. Only this has to be the 2. Because if it wasn't the 2, if it was one of the above 1s, then there wouldn't be room for the second one beneath it. Aren't room for 2 2s down here, so that's a 2. This has to be a 3. Because there wouldn't be room for everything below the 2, and if that's the case, then these aren't filled in. Oh, there's nothing down here. Makes you a 4, so that can't be filled in. You're definitely a 2. 2 could be here. That's the 2, then that's the 1. Has to be part of the 4. Doesn't help though. 5 can't be over there, which means we're down to this. If that's a 1, then you have to be a 2. Definitely a 2 there, which makes that a 4. Makes you a 2. This has to be part of a 2, but that doesn't help us. This is a 3, then we can fill that in, which makes you a 2. And a 2 can't live there. Makes you a 1. Makes a 2 can't live here, which makes you a 2. Makes you a 2. Now the furthest the 7 can come is here. Because there has to be at least room for a 1. That. So the 1 can be here or here. Makes you a 3 though. Still doesn't help us with that. That makes you a 2. And if you're a 2, there can't be something there. There's still room for a 2 after this. Has to be a 1. We are very slowly culling it down here. Makes you the 3, which makes you the 5. Makes you a 1. That has to be a 3 then. Makes you a 7. If you're a 2, then there can't be something there or there. Which means the other 2 has to start there, which makes you a 1. That's the 3, which means a 1 and a 1, which means a 2. It's you the 1. It's you the 4. A 4 and a 2. Which makes you a 2. 2 and a 2 and a 2. That could still be a 1 there. Something's wrong here. Because there's not enough room for another 1. Here we go. This has to be a 2. Yes. Okay. I think we recovered. Okay, it has to start with a 2, so that can't be there. Going for the rule things out step now. This has to be true. It's part of it too, but that doesn't help us. No matter what, to get 3 1s in here, we have to do this and this. It's 3 1s, the next will be a 2, but that doesn't help us. 0 1. We can't make a judgment call there yet. And with a 2, which doesn't help. is a 1 in there. That doesn't help. Oh, but you two are definitely 1s. Means you're a 4. Does help. Like that. A 1 could be there. That makes you a 2. Makes you a 2. Makes you a 2. So you're part of the 3, and you're a 1. You're a 1. 8 can't be there. 8 has to live in there because it can't fit here. That. You have to be part of a 3, which doesn't help. You're part of a 1. You're part of a 1 and a 1. You have to be part of a 2, so that can't be there. Part of a 2. You're a 1. Nothing there. So nothing can be here. There or there. Has to start with a 2, so nothing there. Part of a 2, that has to be a 1. So nothing can be here. Sure that has to be a 1? Oh, yeah, that's a 1. Because of this. It's nothing here. Can't fit those yet. This has to be a 2, since that's a 2. Makes you a 2. You a 2. So 1 is there. That's a 1. This has to be a 1. There's a 2 in here, but we can't judge anything about that. We've narrowed down some of that space, which means you're part of the 3, and you're part of a 2, and you're part of a 3 still. Slowly, slowly. No matter what, there can only be 2 1s here, so there has to be a 1 up here. That has to be true there. Lots of combinations for 1s. Same with this. Can't be sure there. That has to be a 1. And since we can't fit a 2 before it, that can't be there, so that makes you that one. You're that one. Still don't know there. Since you're part of the 3, you have to be the 1, which makes you a 2. Now there's only this space left for the 1s, which makes you the 2. Can't be there, which means it has to be here. And it's a 1. That's a 1. Alright, what is it? Is it gloves? Black gloves. Puzzles. S rank. More bonus puzzles. Made me dig through a garbage can for an old pair of gloves. Not just any pair of gloves. I detected trace levels of the neurotoxin on them. Right, there's red powder on the fingertips. On the fingertips of the gloves that you made me root around and touch. Bobby must have worn them while handling the poisoned makeup, then disposed of them in here. Only one problem with that theory, Scout. These are women's gloves, and they look kind of familiar. I can't detect anything else unusual in here. Guess this is all the evidence we're going to get. I just hope it's enough to build a case around. I expect then it's the co-host of the initial victim's talk show. It seems like she would have had a grudge, since he was ultimate chauvinist, the old man. Detective Cross will be here any minute with Bobby. We'd better have our final theory ready. You really think we have enough evidence if we can't convince Cross? I know, this is our last chance, but I think I finally understand what happened here tonight. Kathleen. It's all starting to make sense now. She admitted herself that she and Dick had a long-standing feud. He was a jerk to everyone on his show, especially her. Talk about when she first came on, they always put her in really skimpy outfits. Putting up with Dick was hard enough for just one night. Imagine getting that kind of abuse for over a decade. And he really talked down to her while she was on stage with him for the award. But she could never go public. It'd be the end of her career. So she made up a fake name and started leaking rumors to the press. Until Dick called his lawyers and stopped the press from accepting any more stories about him. She was silenced. Silenced, but angrier than ever. And that's when she decided to take matters into her own hands. Dick Stanford had to die. Bum, bum, bum. But if Kathleen killed Dick, how is it that Bobby gave the poisoned makeup to Becky? That's exactly what I hope to find out from Bobby. They show Kathleen's character wearing black gloves. That's a base part of her cut out there. Oh well, look what the cop dragged in. Am I to understand Bobby isn't so innocent after all? That's what we're about to find out. Sorry, Bobby. We've got a few more questions for you. What the hell, man? I didn't kill Dick. You said so yourself. I came here for the awards, not to get interrogated by a private detective and some robot. Well, that's what's happening one way or another, Bobby. Whether it's Scout or me. This isn't backtalk, Bobby. No one's interested in your sob story. Hope you got everything you needed on her. This is your last chance. Let's start with identifying the murder weapon. Dick's flowers. Dick was poisoned with a neurotoxin sprinkled onto these flowers. Gasp! Aren't those the flowers I gave him on stage? He sealed his fate as soon as he smelled them. That's why he started acting strangely on stage. The poison was already taking effect. Pretty grim stuff. I can't believe this. I held those flowers too. If I'd smelled them myself. But I didn't go anywhere near those flowers. I don't even know what a neurotoxin is. The poison was hidden in makeup, Rouge number 16 from Corinthia Cosmetics. Only a small amount of the poisoned makeup is needed to kill, if inhaled. Since when do you know so much about poison? I'm still learning what I'm capable of, detective. Wait a second, I recognize that makeup. I was hoping you would. After all, you gave it to Becky. You handed off deadly poison to some innocent girl? I can't believe what I'm hearing. Kathleen is approaching doth protest too much territory, isn't she? We all trusted you, Bobby. Hold up. You gave that makeup to me. Oh man, there's a Phoenix Wright caliber reaction there. Not full-on meltdown, but still, that's a, oh no, I've been surprised Phoenix Wright reaction. Well, he's obviously lying. I don't know, let's hear him out. Why did Kathleen give you the makeup, Bobby? I've been trying all evening to get Becky to agree to come onto my show. She'd be great for ratings. I asked Kathleen if she had any advice. You know, girl stuff. She said I should try getting her a gift. This is the most ridiculous story. Let him finish. I asked her what kind of gift, and she thought about it for a second. Then she smiled and gave me that makeup. So you're saying you were given the poisoned makeup by Kathleen? It's all lies. I haven't spoken a word to him all evening, and I've certainly never touched any poisoned makeup. That's where my next piece of evidence comes in. Detective, this is outrageous. Bobby is the suspect here, but I feel like she's interrogating me. Well, Mizrahi? That's her last name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly or what it might mean. The fact that her first name is Honor would lead me to believe that there is something to that. Again, like the Phoenix Wright. Though Phoenix's name in the Japanese version is essentially like Now I See or something like that. Hey there, Tess. Welcome aboard. What else have you got that ties Kathleen to the poisoning? The gloves. We found this pair of gloves in the bathroom. Do they look familiar? Gasp. They look just like the gloves Kathleen has been wearing all evening. They're identical, except one important detail. These gloves have traces of neurotoxin on them. These gloves that I'm waving around in front of you guys as if to indicate their critical evidence. Look at these gloves with the airborne neurotoxin on them. Look at them. This is absurd. Quiet, you. What are you thinking, Honor? I think Kathleen used the makeup to sneak a deadly poison into the Starshine Awards. I don't know anything about poison. Really? I think you knew exactly what you were dealing with. That's why you brought a spare pair of gloves. After you dosed Dick's flowers, you threw out the gloves you were wearing to avoid poisoning yourself. They say it's a trace amount of poison, so I'm expecting it's not enough to be lethal like the other stuff was, or the stuff on the flowers, but if just sniffing the flowers would have been enough without it creating a cloud around the flowers, you'd expect just sniffing the gloves or having the powder from the gloves get into the air would be pretty dangerous, if only to sicken, as opposed to kill. I think it's obvious what's going on here. Bobby wants to frame me for Dick's murder. He used a pair of my gloves to make it look like I did it. Why would I kill Dick? We worked together for years. Based on what they've said, that's why you would have wanted to kill Dick, because you worked together for years. Exactly. You admitted to us that you suffered for years from Dick's insults and mood swings. Perhaps, but I'd never stooped to his level. I have a professional reputation to uphold. And that's why, when you went to the press, you used a fake name, Alex Costa. Alex Costa? I told you before, I've never heard that name in my life. Me neither. Care to enlighten us? Alex Costa told Celeb Life magazine about what a monster Dick really was. They printed the accusations, but then Dick's lawyers stepped in. And this Alex guy was someone who worked with Dick? To have that amount of dirt on him, they must have known him for years. And Bobby fits the bill perfectly. He wanted to ruin Dick's reputation to save his own show. His mother was even called Alexandra. Alexandra Price, Alex Costa. Isn't it obvious? Once again, you're really trying hard to drive home these points. A little too obvious. Almost as if someone knew that they could pin the whole thing on Bobby if they got caught. I mean, Bobby doesn't strike me as a criminal mastermind, but it's more that Kathleen is badly acting as the shocked individual in all of these. You used my mom's name? Control yourself, Bobby. We could do without another strangling today. Calm down, both of you. I see your point, Miss Rahi, but is there any direct connection to the poisoning? The makeup came from Le Manchot Jolie. Definitely butchering that one, but French boutique. It was a special order for Alex Costa. I can't believe you're listening to this amateur when you have the real killer right here. One last piece of evidence. Alex Costa's phone number. I don't have to stand here and be insulted. One moment, please. Gasp. Don't worry, I hear you still get his phone call in prison. That's probably right, Tess. One of the difficulties I have with pronunciation with some French words in particular is ignoring consonants that are clearly there. I mean, we do it enough in English, it's not surprising, but, you know, even more so. Kathleen Cartwright, you're under arrest for the murder of Dick Stanford. You don't know what it's like to spend your entire career being put down and brushed aside. He deserved to die. Rawr. I put up with that monster for 20 years, 2 decades of insults and contempt. And all the while having to hear how great he was. I tried to tell the world, I tried talking to the press, and no one would listen. But that ranting, disgusting old creep you saw on stage, that was the real Dick. And cuff noises. That's enough, let's go. Now everyone knows what he was really like. I'm glad he's dead. Only wish I could have made it more painful. Wow. These are going to be fun statements before the judge when your sentencing comes up. I don't believe what you're telling me, Honor. Everyone loved Dick Stanford, except for the lady that was hell-bent on murdering him. Everybody else loved him, though. Everyone except the people he worked with, but no one wanted to listen to them. Shouting on her way to the police car, "I have no remorse. I totally did it. I'd do it again." It's like I've always said, TV is the devil's work. I don't agree with any of this detective nonsense, but at least you're not in TV anymore. Have you seen Becky? I'm ready to go. Just no more arguing in the car, okay? Good luck getting Mom to agree to that. I'll stop arguing when you agree to stop being so stubborn. Great news, everyone. I'm going to be a special guest star on Back Talk with Bobby Price. You guys have a great story. I'm just glad I can help tell it to the nation. And thanks for helping prove I didn't kill anyone. You and Scout are quite the pair of detectives. Speaking of which, can we give Bobby a ride to the police station? Detective Cross still wants to talk to him. Apparently strangling a dead guy might be illegal after all. Go figure. It's never been a problem all those times that I did it before. You know what? I'm not sure I want a self-admitted strangler sitting behind me in the car. Take my keys. I'll walk. Scout and I headed back to my apartment feeling good. We'd done it. We cracked the case. We proved them all wrong. The feeling was intoxicating, a heady sense of accomplishment, like I'd never felt before. We'd worked it out. We found the clues, discovered the link between them, and now justice would be done. I wonder if you can actually botch it during the final stages where you call it out, or if they just said, no, that's wrong, that doesn't seem right. Like in Phoenix Wright, you get burned every time you're wrong during those critical moments, and sometimes one failure is enough to knock you out and have to restart. But in this case, they presented you with like a who did it, what was the evidence next, that kind of thing. We got it right, but I don't know what happens if you get it wrong. That moment I knew. I wanted to feel this again. I wanted to feel this all the time. This rush. Quickly, somebody get murdered so that we can solve another mystery. The only problem was, I still had to convince everyone else. Detective Cross, my mother, only Scout seemed to really understand. In a few short weeks, he'd become one of my closest friends. Someone I could trust, someone that had my back. But trust has a nasty way of getting broken when you least expect it. She has a murder wall. Home at last. It was one hell of a night out, right, Scout? Scout? Dun dun. This is one of the scientists from the lab in Scout's memories. And she does not look, she looks the worse for wear here. You can see her coat's all scuffed up and stained. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just here to warn you. Scout is not what he seems. He's dangerous. What? He needs to be shut down, now, before it's too late. I don't know who the hell you think you are breaking into my apartment, but you'd better get out of here before I call the cops. Where is that exit? Fine, I'll go, but I've left you my number. Think it over. I'll be waiting for your call. Honor, this is amazing. I was looking behind your bookcase, and I found a Humphrey Bogart movie we haven't seen yet. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Let's go watch that movie, okay? Paper in the background. Hero cop rescues boy. Case closed. Alright, if the shoe fits. After the Starshine Awards, things changed. I've been through plenty of change already that summer, but this was different. This was big. But I guess change is hardest to recognize when it's happening to you. It felt like an eternity ago that I left Ryan and struck out on my own. If you told me back then that I'd end up living with a robot, well, let's just say that was never the plan. It's usually not part of the plan, you know? I'll graduate college, I'll move in on my own, I'll get a robot roommate, and then... I didn't know why that stranger thought Scout was dangerous, but the more time I spent with him, the less I believed it. So we just carried on, like everything was normal. Me and my robot sidekick. We watched films, visited museums, and Scout devoured the public library, 5 books at a time. For a while, it felt like progress, but deep down, I knew I was running away. Running from Scout's past, and from my future. But I couldn't run forever. A lot of text on black narration here, folks. Sherbet sighting. It's giving me that bleary look here. It's like he just woke up from his nap in order to come up here onto the heating pad so he can nap. Oh, good morning, Honor. Good morning, Scout. Get up to much last night? I read the final 3 volumes of the Encyclopedia Totalis. I think my favorite was Zirconia. They're so pretty. Now we just need to think of a way to get those encyclopedias back to the library before they realize we took them. Also, I read that Julia Child's book that you've never opened. Hey, I was going to get around to it at some point. Anyway, I spent the night trying to perfect the French omelette. Here, I made one for you. Huh, I could get used to this. The phone rings. Is it a call to action? Are we going on another adventure? Oh, hey, KC. How did your date with that perfume guy go last night? Okay, so we're less than a week out from, Actually, no, we could be 2 to 3 weeks out from the events at the Starshine Awards. Oh, no, definitely more than that. So he promised the guy, the manager at the perfume shop, a date for giving him the phone number of a customer. And so apparently they hit it off, you know. Though apparently KC had said that the reason that he had broken it off with the guy in the first place was that the guy insisted that he could cook. And since the guy worked in a perfume place and was exposed to it so much, his sense of smell was wonky. And apparently the resulting food was not good. Not good. Hey, with sherbet there. With sherbet, you can... the thing that makes it the easiest to spot them, since they have a similar face unless you look up close. And, you know, if you get an opportunity to look at them side by side, Mason is noticeably bigger and is likely going to get bigger. But it's Sherbet's shoulders. He has the full white stripe across them, and the little splotch between his shoulders is bigger. So if you can see his shoulders fully, you can spot whether it's Sherbet or Mason. How did your date with the perfume guy go last night? It was the third one, right? Did you... Wait, is that why you're calling me at this ungodly hour? Because you're doing the walk of shame? You hussy, tell me everything. Oh my god, okay, calm down, calm down. Where did you say you are? We got it. We'll be there as soon as we can. What's up, Honor? It's KC. Is he okay? He's fine, but it looks like he just found himself at a murder scene. Okay, so let's take in this scene for a moment here. It looks like a parade float shaped like a giant red high heel. And given the flags from what I assume to be a pride parade, went off the road and ran somebody over, since behind the text box there is a body. This is definitely not what you would be expecting. Honor is very much speaking the obvious. Honor, are my sensors malfunctioning again, or is that a giant shoe? No, your sensors are working fine. Not just a giant shoe either. It's a giant killer shoe. Because if you look, you can see a lot of little rainbow flags. Like the full-on newer style pride flag. Well, newer style to me. And the little banners hanging up there, and more of the little banners under the little things along the side. What the heel happened here? Scout, babe, if you're going to start making quips, we need to talk about timing. I'm sorry. You two. Of course you're here. Welcome back, Jorah. Come on, Scout, let's get scanning. Puzzles. there. Right there. Looking for certainties. No, that's definitely a 2, and that's part of a 2. Which means you're part of a 3. That's also a certainty. Going with pirate ship, huh, Tass? Or the 6 lives over here. 3 lives over here, but we can't guess based on that. That's true there. It's got to be part of the 3, but that doesn't help. Same with you. And the 3 can be as far down as this, so that doesn't help much. That has to be true, though. Makes you part of a 3 and a 3 and a 3. 9 has to live in here. This can't be there. Can't be there. I normally fills in like that. This has to be like that. 4 and 4. That. That. Part of a 2 and a 2 and a 2 and a 2, which doesn't help. A 2 and a 2 and a 3 and a 3. And that means you're part of a 4. It's you like that. That, which makes you a 2. That, and you're a 2. Part of a 4, so it has to be like that, which makes you a 3. You a 3. 7, 8, that. That has to be a 1. So 5. 3 can't fit there. That has to be a 3, which makes you that. That. 2s. 4, which makes you a 3. 2. You're a 2. And a 2. It's definitely part of the 3. Three can only go to here. Doesn't help. 3 and a 3 and a 4. So you the 4. You're a 3. 8 and 9. So you the 4. 3. 4. So you 7. 4 and a 3 and a 3 and a 3 and a 1. 3 and a 1. Definitely part of a 6. Which can cleanly fit in any direction there, but that makes you that. And that. 3 and a 2. That or that. 2 here. It's getting kind of spherical looking. Gonna be a 3. Gotta be a 2, so it has to be like that. Something's wrong over here. That's the 4. Something wrong here. Dear. Yeah. Oof. All right. Reset. Something like that. 2 and you a 2. 1 and a 1. This to be part of the 2. You the 5. See how quickly we can get back to where we were. Let's see, 5 can only... Oh, nope, 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 nope. Can't make that assumption. I'm gonna mess up again. You have to be the 6. This has to be part of a 2, which means they're be here or here. But to be part of a 3, it has to be like that. 4. Part of a 9. 7. 9. Nothing there. That 2 and a 2. So a 3 and a 3 and a 3. That. It's 11 and a 12, which means a 2 can't be there. Has to be here. That. And that. That and that. Four there. That. It's 8. So nothing there, which makes the 4 here. Makes you a 2. That 2. 2, 2, 2. 3. 2. Okay, good. 6 there. Nothing here. 3, 3, and 3. And you're a 4 and a 3. Four. It's a 9. Okay. Fuel 1. Means a 1 is here. It's 2 and a 2. So there can't be something here since this is part of a 2. This is part of a 3, so it's like that, which makes you a 1 and you're a 2. Two more 1s, which means it has to be like that. Something is wrong right here. Again botched something because this would then have to be a 2, which cuts this off. This has to be a 3, and then a 2. There can't be something here. Right, okay. Like that. That's one of our mistakes from before. That makes you a 2, so you can't fit there. And there's a 2 here. That's a 3, which makes you a 1. Can't gauge that, or that, or that. You have to be a 2. that. So you the 3, makes you the 2. So you're a 2. So 1 in here. This has to be 1 and 1 and 1. It's just a 2 here. It has to be there. So you a 1. Yeah, 1 can only fit there. Alright, what is it? A wheel. Okay, it's a wheel that came off of the float. Okay. Hunter, there's something interesting about this tire. Tell me of the tire, Scout. The tread appears to be undamaged, which indicates that the vehicle didn't break before it hit the curb. Did the shoe accelerate? Was the shoe trying to run over a man? Or the victim? Now that you mention it, there aren't any skid marks, are there? Perhaps they couldn't brake. Mayhaps the brakes on the shoe float were cut. So they didn't try to slow down or swerve. I don't think this was an accident. Alrighty. Three, 1, 2, 1. Be there. Can't be there. So 1 and a 6. This is part of the 6. Doesn't help. This could be any of them. 5 and the 2 can't coincide here, which means the 5 has to live in here. And it can only go this far left. Like that. Three and the 5 can live in here, but this has to be part of the 5, so there can't be something here. 3 and the 4 can live in here. You're part of a 2, but there could be a 2 above. No. Yeah, can't judge that one. Same with this one. That can all be held in there. Same here, here, here. Some wiggle in this one. So there can be a space in all of it. But the 3, 2 and 2. 3 would have to live like that. This has to be part of the 6, right? No. This could be part of the 2. Okay, there's only a little wiggle for the 3. It's 1, 1, 1, or 1, 1, 1. Still the same way. This could be part of the... This could fit the 6. Yeah, could still fit. Same with this one. But if this were the 6, then it could only go this far. Still fits, though. Can't make any judgments here. This could be part of anything. That has to be part of the 5. There's a 2 in here, but I can't place it. This one is tougher. Much tougher. Overlap in this row, and then there, or there, or there. Well, we know that this has to be involved. Nope. Okay, this can't be part of the 3. Nope, it could be part of the 3. Great. All fit in here, but only... There's got to be something else we can use as a semi-certainty here. think we can say that. Because there could be a 2. Yeah, I think we can say this. And if that's the case, this is either a 3 or a 4. So we can definitely say that. It's a 2. This has to be a 1. Which makes you a 2. You're a 1. Which makes you the 4. You're a 2. You're part of a 1. And you're part of a 1, which makes you a 5. And you're a 2. And you're a 1. Makes you a 3. Wildly misclick. Makes you part of a 2. That. Now, this could still be the 1 and the 6. You have to be a 2 now. I know to do that. Be like that. 2 and a 3 and a 2. Still can't judge there. But this still has to be the 5. So we can do that. So you part of another 1. So you part of a 2. And you're part of a 3. That makes you a 3. 2. 1 and a 2 and a 3. 1. Okay. 3 and a 1 left, so it has to be like that. Be 2, so that's a 2. Makes you part of a 2. You're part of a 1. So can't be something there. Can't be a 3 there, so it has to be here and here. That makes you a 2. 2 and 1. So this has to be part of the 6. Keep the 3. So you part of the 6 again. Nothing can be there. Be there. Narrowing it down. Picture? A passport. Sure. Must be the victim's passport. Let's see. Oliver Laurel, U.S. citizen. Date of birth would make him 26. A passport is an item for traveling to foreign countries, correct? Perhaps he was going on holiday soon. People sometimes use them as ID too, but it is a bit strange that he'd be carrying it here. Will I need a passport if I go to another country? Shouldn't think so. Not if I check you into my into the hold in my suitcase, anyway. I do not like the sound of that. We'll give you a bunch of books and we'll pack you in a dog crate. More puzzles. 5s don't overlap. Certainty's there. And there. Alright, let's see. Or it can be like that. Because then it could be 1 and 2. Yep. This has to be part of the 4. This has to be the 2. They're 1s and they don't line all the way up. We can't judge them. No matter how much we want to. This should be true. So we could go 1, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Or the 4 can slide down. That should be true as well, then. Yeah. So true there. Okay, there's still room down here. Can't judge this one yet. It could still be part of the 2. Two has to be right there. This can't be part of a 2, so it has to be part of a 1. Two can be like that. So definitely a 1. So it can't be something here. You have to be the 1. Last thing is a 2, which means we can't be there, or there, or there, or there. You're also 1. Nope, something's wrong. A bad assumption was made. So there has to be a 2. Alright. Tricky, tricky. Okay, so... That. That. Not enough to wiggle there. This could be part of the 4, this could be part of a 2. As far as here, that. And you have to be part of a 1. This has to be part of the 4. Because it's... The 4 can't slide all the way over here. This is the furthest the 4 could come, which would overlap. There's 2 spaces down here, so we can't judge where it'll go yet. So there's a 2 and a 1 in here. Be like that. These are trickier ones for sure. This could be the 1, the last one, or it could be a 2. So we can't tell for sure anything about it. Tell more about these 5s, that'd be useful. But we can't because it's a 10. They don't overlap at all in their possibilities. One here, and then there's plenty of places for the... No, wait, 1, 2, 3. That's got to be true. Is that true? Which makes you there. Can't tell about that. That could be a 2 or a 1. Two is definitely in there. There can't be another one, so that's blocked off. Not enough to know about that. much wiggle here. Wait a minute. This is definitely the 2, which means this is a 1 and a 4. Makes you a 2, but that doesn't help. But we know this. We know that. We know this. So you have to be a 2, which makes you part of a 3, but that doesn't help us yet. So you the 2. You're a 2. Makes you a 1. Makes you the 5. 2. 4. Only place a 3 can reasonably fit is there. There could still be 2 1s there. That's a 3. So you a 1. That, which makes you a 2. This can't be the last one, so this has to be the 2. That doesn't help us much. That's a 1. Makes you a 1. Nothing can be there. Which makes something here. There. Makes you a 2. This has to be a 3. Makes you a 1. You a 1. You're a 1. Which leaves that there and there. Gotta be part of a 2. Two, nothing can be there. You the 1. A broken dial. Sure. The glass cover of this speedometer has been smashed. Something must have hit it when the float crashed into the club. Or someone, perhaps the driver. It's certainly possible. Right, 10 by 10. All right, let's see here. This should have some determinable ones. It's 2. Yeah, like that. This cannot be a 2, so it has to be a 1. This could be a 2. That. This were a 2. Let's see, it'd be 1 and 1. Okay, so that could still be the 2. Gotta be part of a 1. It's like you're definitely part of a 2. This has got to be where the 2 is. So part of a 3, but non-determinable. The 2 has to live here, which makes a 1 live there. Makes you part of a 4. That doesn't help. This is part of the 2. There's a 1 after, but again, doesn't help. This could be a 1 or a 2, I think. 1, 2. No, this is the 2. It's you a 1 and you a 2. So you're part of a 3. You're a part of a 3. Getting there. So you can't be filled in. That. Part of a 3. You've got to be a 2 and a 3. The 2. This is part of a 2. This has to be 1, 2, 2, 1. So it has to be like that. And that. 1 and a 1. This could be a 1. Nothing there. This could be part of the 4, or this could be part of the 2. But this has to be true. Which means these have to be the 1s. Because we can't have the 2 here. And this can't be the 2. Which makes this exist. So a 1 and a 2. There. See the 4. This is a 2. One, you're part of a 3. Part of a 2, which doesn't help. Two and you a 1, though. You gotta be a 2. 4 is like that, 2 is like that. Do a 2. You're a 1. Have to be a 1 like that, which makes you a 1. That's the 4. Nothing there. You're a 3 and you're a 1. It's you a 3. You're a 3 and you're a 1. Nothing there, which makes you a 1. It's you there and there. 1 into 1. 2 1s, so they have to be like that. And that. A left sneaker. Okay, I can see it. There's like a little bit of a lace. Sure, left sneaker. Sneaker. Whoever was driving the float must have left it behind when they fled the scene. Would appear to be designed for a left foot. It's like in that Actually game show where they have one where it's like they super pixelate an image down to like next to nothing initially, and then they slowly expand it out. Hypothesis: the killer only has one leg. It was the one-legged man. I mean, you might be right, or it might just be one half of a pair. I mean, if we find a left leg, we'll know. Maybe he lost it as part along with the shoe. The shoe was scattered from the severed leg. It's a possibility. We can't rule it out. The plot thickens. Okay, we've investigated everything. Hey, isn't it just awful? What happened here? Your guess is as good as mine. I was in the area and decided to swing by. Fran mentioned to me that she'd had the place done up, so I thought I'd take a look at least at the outside at least. When I got here, well, this is what I found. Fran, I have a feeling that's a name you've mentioned before. Frantasia. She owns this place. She's also my drag mother of sorts. I could not find any records in my database for drag mother. Ah, right. How to explain. When I first came to the States, I didn't know anyone. I landed at LAX with a makeup palette under one arm and a head full of dreams. Then reality hit, and it hit hard. I met Fran in a club one night, and she took me under her wing. That's when I learned that drag queens will do anything for help with their makeup, even adopt a lost British gay boy. I see. So she is like a mother figure to you, but not a blood relation. I thought you had to do drag to be in a drag family. I know, it does seem a waste not to use these cheekbones for profit, doesn't it? I don't know, I think doing makeup on other people is my calling. And a drag family is full of people who need makeup on them pretty much every day, so it worked out. They were my family network back when I couldn't get a job to save my life. Fran and her sisters put me up, kept me fed, spread the word. Everything I have is thanks to the kindness of queens. Since things blew up with Murder Miss Terry and other regular work, though, I've not seen as much of them as I used to, or should do. Where is Fran now? I called her just before I spoke to you. She's not turned up yet, though. It always takes her at least an hour and a half to get ready, though, so she's probably mid-beat as we speak. But her club's just been smashed into. Surely she wouldn't spend that long on it. Ed likes to draw a line between club life and the rest of his life. Drag only when on the premises. Oh, right. Ed is Fran's boy name. Edwin Tinker. Tinker by name, tinker by nature. He mends musical instruments? Or metal instruments? He's a man of many talents. No, tinker is British slang for... You know what? It doesn't matter. Magellan's kind of a weird name for a gay bar, isn't it? Well, it's not strictly a gay bar. How did Fran describe it? Something like, Magellan's is a port in the storm for those exploring the stormy seas of gender. That's the, family-friendly reason behind the name, anyway. Are you a regular? I mean, knowing the owner's got to be good for some free drinks, right? Fran hasn't owned it for that long. The bar's been here for years, but she only took it over recently. I came here for the big party she threw to celebrate her new venture, but I haven't been back since. Okay, there's some background for us. Should have known he'd call you. Nice to see you too, Detective Cross. If I told you two to stop sticking your noses in and go home, what are the chances you'd actually do it? I estimate the chances approximately 0.00001%. That does, however, factor in a small margin of error. Would that margin of error happen to be 0.00001%? Bingo! I can't even manage to be mad at the two of you anymore. Fine, I suppose you did a pretty good job last time, and the crime scene team just finished up anyway. You can help out, cause any trouble, and so help me God. You have any idea what happened here? It looks like a fairly standard hit and run. Well, except they left the vehicle behind. So I guess it was a literal run. Also, the vehicle is a giant stiletto. Detective Cross is, at the very least, sure, somebody who would say meddling kids. Meddling is not a word that comes easily to people nowadays. I do like how it's a very standard hit and run, except the vehicle is still here, and the vehicle is a giant stiletto heel. So, on balance, pretty far from your standard hit and run, yes. This your first death by stiletto? You don't want me to answer that question, trust me. Yeah, if you work murders, I would expect death by stiletto is something that would probably come up eventually. What do we know about this club? I'd have thought that was more of a question for your friend over there. I do not understand. What do you mean by that? He means that's a gay club, and he, being an old straight man, wouldn't know anything about that. Less of the old, thanks, but you're not wrong. This isn't something I know much about. This is, like, late 90s, I think? Wait, you're letting us take a look at the crime scene? Forensics has already been and gone, and I've already inspected the scene. There's nothing for you to mess up. At this early stage in an investigation, it's important to consider everything. Every piece of evidence. Every hypothesis. So sure, knock yourselves out. Come back here and show me everything you find, and we'll see what your conclusions are. Do we know anything about the victim? He had some ID on him. I'm surprised Robo-Boy over there hasn't found it yet. Do we have any suspects at this point? Well, the only person with any connection to the incident so far is that friend of yours. After a while, they're going to start to suspect Honor a little more, if not as a suspect, again, than as a ringleader, since she tends to have murderers sort of orbiting her. You don't think he did it, do you? I like to keep an open mind at this stage in the investigation. I'd suggest you do the same. But he called it in. It's one of those things that they don't cover in a lot of, like, detective novels and the like, is the... Like, you keep showing up at crime scenes, and you seem to know an awful lot about particular crime scenes. And often you're within the company of the people that did the crimes. After a while, it's like, maybe we should shortlist you a little bit, whether that's just to get your help, or if it's to keep an eye on you. He did, and then he called you. Are you trying to imply something, Detective Cross? There'll be time for implications later. Right now, it's about finding out as much as we possibly can, no matter how innocuous it may turn out to be. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's present evidence. Do you know this man? You've identified the victim. His name is Oliver Laurel. Doesn't ring a bell, but then again, I'm not a regular, so I don't know any of the customers. You don't think it could be, you know, a homophobic attack, do you? We don't even know if he was a customer here. Could have just been a random hit and run. It's still... It's a random crushing with a giant stiletto heel float. I don't think you can consider that random at all. It's either premeditated, which would be amazing if somebody was like, I have the perfect plan. I just need a giant stiletto heel float and it will all come together. Or it was a crime of opportunity in which the pilot of a giant stiletto heel float decided, now is the time to strike. That is possible. I mean, the wheel came off. I mean, technically, there's from the pieces we found, one of the tires has no indication that it broke at all. So that the vehicle was trying to be slowed. Like, there's no wear at all on the wheel aside from, like, lightweight stuff. And there are no skid marks. So there is an implication that either they did not try to stop or they could not stop. But if it's been sabotaged, that still is... That still puts the giant stiletto heel float very prominently in the plans. As, you know, I'll get them this time, because now they'll be piloting a giant stiletto heel float, and there will be no way for them to escape. Why are you showing me this tire? Why are you showing me this speedometer? Or this shoe? Okay, well. What good are you? Yep, that's the victim, all right. Oliver Laurel. I've radioed his name to the station. They're going to get back once they have more info for me. The dial on the shoe's dashboard was smashed. I don't know. It's just... Phrases like, the shoe's dashboard, are just comical to me. Indeed it was. What do you think that means? Hypothesis. The driver of the shoe collided with the dashboard on impact. Not bad. One to keep in mind, for sure. No wear on the treads and no marks on the floor. Looks like it didn't try to slow down. That's what I said. And what do you think that means? We found this sneaker. I have a hypothesis. The presence of only a single sneaker could indicate that our perpetrator only has one leg. I don't think that's very likely. You said we must consider every hypothesis. Did I say every hypothesis? I meant every credible hypothesis. Okay, we just had to throw all of our evidence at Cross here. Well, what do you think? I don't think it hit the club on purpose. I don't think these are actually the right answers. It was definitely a murder. The lack of wear on the float tires plus the absence of skid marks points to that. Really? What about those tires indicates that the victim was killed deliberately? Well, that they didn't break. They went straight for the club. But not necessarily straight for the victim. He might have just been in the way. You're halfway there. What I'm trying to get at is, it isn't always murder. You have to consider accidental death, too. Though, I guess, you know, if we're differentiating murder from manslaughter here. It's the I went out of control, didn't break at all, and slammed into the side of a restaurant and happened to squish a man. Not technically murder. So what now? What in the... It's even worse than I had imagined. Technically not murder, Jorah. Man, oh, it's terrible. Thanks, Streisand, you weren't in there. Never heard the phrase, thanks, Streisand. I'm Detective Cross, investigating officer. I appreciate you've only just arrived, but I'd like to ask you a few questions inside, if I may, Miss, you can call me Fran. And sure, let's head inside, shall we? New location, the bar. I can't believe it, just look at the place. Okay, we've got an officer at the victim's address. He's bringing over some items of interest. I'm gonna wait outside. Honor, you find out what you can from Miss, Tasia. Honestly, just call me Fran. Oh, right. Okay. Cross away! Honor, perhaps we should take a look around inside, too. Rather get some puzzles in while we can. Seeing anything. Oh, no, there we go. Ooh, 15 by 15. This one is, though. Ah. This has to be part of the 8. Furthest it can go is here. Let's do a 2. Because the 8 can be anywhere in this range. Can be here. 1s and you are 1s. Okay, the 2, 5, 2 can be all the way in here, so we can't do anything with that yet. 3 and the 2 could be here, but the 5 can't live in here. The 5 has to live in here. That. That's definitely a 1 as well. Okay, this definitely makes this the part of the 5. This has to be part of a 2, which makes this part of a 4. Down to here, up to here. Okay. Definitely a 2. Be there. There can't be... There can be a 2 and a 1 here. That's the middle 2. So 2. You're a 1 as well. Could be part of a 2. Yeah. You can be there. You have to be part of the 5, which makes you the 2. Makes you part of the 4. You're definitely part of the 5 then. Which makes you a... Okay, we can't judge anything about that. Anything further about that. Something here because it's all 2s. Okay. Six can't fit in here. This is the 6. In those. Furthest the 5 can go is to here. Which means there can't be a 2 here, so it has to be here. Has to be a 1. Judge that yet, but you've got to be a 2. Yeah, it's got to be a 2. Makes you the 4. So the 3 is in here. You're part of one of the fours. The other four is in here. The 2, the 5. Three, 2. Getting there. Two and a 2. A 2. Be a 2. This has to be the 1. This has to be a 2. Has still not yet become clear. Like a... Oh! Pride flag. Okay. There are a lot of these flags around, even for a gay bar. I like them. They're so colorful. Do you think I could take one? It would look nice in your apartment. Oh, so you're an interior decorator now? Well, you'll have to ask Fran. Maybe she'll let you take one of the small ones. That was it. That's what we got out of that. Well, there goes my no claims bonus. My name's Honor Mizrahi. I'm helping Detective Cross out with his investigations. And I am Scout. Oh, I know who you are. I've been watching Murder Mystery since Casey got the job there. It's nice to have a celebrity in my little club. Actually, you're not the first, but you're the first that's not been on the down low, if you catch my drift. Excuse me, but what is down low? Oh, right. Well, Scout, sometimes people that are gay or lesbian or whatever choose to hide it. And then they come to places like ours to kind of let the pressure off a little. But they try to be discreet about it. I still cannot understand why humans pretend to be things that they are not. It's complicated, doll. Sometimes it's just easier that way. Anyway, I'm Frantasia. It's a pleasure to meet you. If only it could have been under better circumstances. You're the proprietress of this club, right? Sure am, although in some ways it still feels strange to hear people say that. It's not been that long since I took over, really. Before that, I was just one of your average gigging about drag queen. And this was one of my regular jaunts. Fast forward a few years and I owned the place. Life sure is strange, huh? Can you think of any reason why anyone would want to damage your property? Buttons. Pushing buttons. None specifically. We normally get along pretty well with everyone in the neighborhood, even if our customers can be a little rowdy when they leave. Of course, not everyone is quite as enlightened. It's sad, but acts of violence are committed against our community frequently. That'd be my first guess. If you don't mind me asking, why did it take you so long to get here after Casey called you? Well, I had to get ready, didn't I? It takes time, effort, and a ton of concealer to look this good at this time of day. Plus, I walked here, in heels. Would you normally be in drag this early in the day? Hell no. Drag hurts. I wouldn't normally come to the club until late afternoon. I tend to at least get a basic beat and look together before coming here, see? Then I only have to top it up or do outfit changes during the night. This is a basic look. Oh, honey, you don't even know. Casey looks terrible. He's clearly really worried about you. He's a sweet one, isn't he? You know, it's thanks to him that my makeup is so flawless. He taught me a lot. He mentioned you helped him out when he first got to LA. He was lost. I could tell the second I saw him. He just had this air of someone who should have filled the room with their presence, but they were holding back. At first I assumed he was a wannabe queen, but it wasn't that. He was anchorless, so I figured I'd help out, just like my drag mother helped me. I'm glad you did. I don't know where I'd be without Casey. Actually, scratch that. I do know where I'd be, still stuck in a toxic marriage. Well, that sounds like a story. Okay. Okay. Do you know this person? We found this passport on a body. His name was Oliver Laurel. Gasp. Oh, the poor thing. Yes, I know him. He's been coming here regularly for the past few months. At first, he was fairly quiet, blended into the background, but Oliver seemed troubled. I got the impression he was working a lot of things out. Some people start this journey with more baggage than others, if you catch my drift. Anyway, Come on, Honor, hurry up. I need to talk to Fran. You're damn right you do, mister. Only way I can get you to visit anymore is by getting a hole smashed in the front of my club. Stop that guilt tripping right now and give me a hug. Ouch. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. I just slipped in my heel last week and totally stacked it. Used my arm to break the fall like an idiot. Doctor says I should heal pretty quickly, though. Detective Cross, is everything okay? People just keep piling in all of a sudden. An officer just returned from the victim's address. Apparently all of his belongings were just outside in black bags. Let me scan them. I can see if there's anything important inside. Well, so can our officers, but what the hell? It might be quicker. Go for it, tiny robot. Alright, let's get this puzzle wrapped up here. Then we will take our intermission before switching to our next stream. So those that aren't aware, we're doing a double stream tonight. We will be playing Wild Hearts shortly after this. This has to be a 4, right? What if this was the 4? Then there wouldn't be enough room. So that's a 4 and that's a 2. And you're a 2. Going for the early guess, huh, Tass? These can't be 2s. That could still be a 1. Yeah, whole thing can fit in there. 2 and then... Okay, the 5 can't live in here. The 5 has to be in here. So... really help a lot. If these are both the 2s, then that can't be there. So you a 1. That. 2 and a 1. 1, 2, 2, 4. Three, 1, 3, 2, and 2. That was a given. Should have known that. Okay, we can't be sure of where that is. I think we can say that with surety, though. So if this was a 1, we could have a 1 and a 1, and the 3 could be down to here. It's you a 3. It's you a 2. Be sure there, but that's a 2. There could be a 2 and a 1 here. It's a 1, which makes you the 3. It's you a 3. Can't be certain. Too much wiggle room in here. It's like we can't be certain here. At the bare minimum, this has to be part of the 7. Which means we know that's a 1. Which means we know this is a 1, and that's a 2. And that's a 2, and that's a 1. Blocks that off. This has to be a 2, which makes you the 10, which makes you a 2. You're part of a 3, which you have to be. It has to be like that, which makes you part of a 2. 5 can't live there. 5 has to live here. That, which makes you that. Let's see, there's only 6 here, and it couldn't go to 8, so that's 5, 6, 7. That. And that. There's a 1, 1, 1, and a 1. And there. 2 1s doesn't help, doesn't help. It's our 1s. Which makes you there. Which makes you here. That's there. This could still be the 1. That's you a 1 for sure. You're a 1. 2 can't be in there. 2 has to be here. A 2. This has to be the 2. That. One and 1 and 1. This has to be a 2. Nothing can be there. 2, 1, 2, 1. Two, 2, and 1. Only a 2 there. 1 there. Yep, there. Has to be here. Has to be there. Okay, so 2 can't coexist there. It has to be like this. What do we got? A book? A diary? It's a page describing a teapot. Surely, Tess. Oh man, we lost our kitty. This diary could prove useful. Let me read it. Finished. Analyzing text. There are several mentions towards the end of a person he met here. Fran, does the name Roz mean anything to you? What? Yes, it does. He's referring to one of our queens, Rosmosis. Okay, Fantasia is better than is I think more apparent than that, but you have to give credit to Rosmosis. Honor, are you here? No, it can't be. That voice, that sounds scarily like... Mom? Don't move. She can't see you if you don't move. There you are. I want a word with you. Not this again. Once this scene gets to a point where we can move or make choices, we'll wrap up. Mom, what are you doing here? What a way to talk to your mother. And after I come all the way down here, too. I didn't ask you to. No, but Detective Cross did. He said you were playing at being detective again, so I brought backup. You what? Oh. I was just thinking, how could today get any worse? And then, as if my words were heard by a malevolent god, here you are. Casey's pretty fun. Hello, Honor. Ryan is Honor's ex-husband. And he's a pretty terrible person so far. He seems to only speak in gaslighting and reverse psychology, you know? Goodbye, Ryan. You're the last person I wanted to see. He's come down here because he's worried about you. Because we're worried about you. When are you going to get it into your head that this isn't any of your business? I can't talk to you while you're like this. I'm going to wait at your apartment. Come see me when you're being a little more reasonable. Oh, Ryan, babe, that was your cue to leave, too. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Harder for you to poison Honor against me when I'm right here. Right there, it's like, oh, she's being poisoned against me. That cologne could poison anyone at 50 yards, babe. No assistance needed. Will everyone just stop? I don't want to fight, Honor. I just want to talk to you. If I talk to you, will you leave? I promise. Fine. Casey, go back inside. I'm sure Fran could do with your support. Okay, let's wrap up here, folks. Save the game. Pushing buttons. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a good time with Murder by Numbers tonight. I do enjoy it. The little mystery narrative, kind of the visual novel elements are amusing. Definitely different than the sort of plot lines we'd get out of Phoenix, right? Or at least so far. And I do like the puzzle aspect. Always like those puzzles. Let's see. Where did the kitties end up today? We have Sky and Sherbet up in the tree. Sammy conked right out on the shelf. And Rorschach loafed up in the middle of the play area. Nice. Nice. All right. Like I said, we're going to be switching over to Wild Hearts. It'll start at about 7:30. Let me see if I can do something with that. A little bit of for science here. Try to push some buttons. Go. All right, folks, I will see you then. For those of you that are wrapping up for the evening, I do hope the rest of your night goes well. Otherwise, I'll see you in about 30 minutes.